Hey everyone. Hey, today I want to talk about something that's happening in the United States that's going to affect us all. It's already affected us all. Just go fill up your car with gas and see what the prices are. I mean, they're high right now, and they're only going higher. There's a lot of reasons for this. I'm not going to get political, but the fact is that the Colonial Pipeline that runs from Houston, Texas up into New Jersey has been shut down because of a cyber attack. And it's going to affect everything. There's about, I think, 17 major airports in the United States that get their fuel directly from that pipeline. And they don't even have a large storage capacity longer because they're all connected directly to the pipeline, including Atlanta. I mean, if Atlanta gets shut down or slowed down their flights because of this, you think it ripples across the country, around the world. And it's going to affect everybody. So be ready for these high gas prices soon. But what I want to talk about today is not the cyber side of this. But what I want to talk about is it's not that difficult to really do, what they're doing. Let me show you. And the thing about this organization that's caused this, sorry about this cyber breach, is that they run an organization that's probably run better than most of our companies are. I can't click very well. All right. Okay, so what people want to know, they ask me, like, what is a hacker? Well, a hacker from, the history of 2010s and beyond, I always pictured a person sitting in their underwear. Crazy, isn't it? Not really, but in their underwear, in the basement, it's dark, in their mother's basement. They've got their video games playing over here, and on the other screen, they've got their hacking screen up, and they're trying to get into companies so they can have some fun and brag to their geek friends and maybe make some money along the way. But today's hacking companies are no longer hackers. They're digital extortionists, and that's a big difference. They are enterprise companies. They are well ran, and I think we can learn something from them as well. Now, the company that's doing this particular breach is called DarkSide, we believe. And the thing about DarkSide is they are a well-managed company. And one thing about DarkSide is that, they are a startup, but they're a well-funded startup, and they're well organized. It's not a bunch of beginners that started a company. It's a bunch of data internet veterans who formed a new organization. They call it DarkSide, and they are out there attacking companies for money. So let me explain what they do and how it affects you and what you can learn from that. One thing is they have processes for everything. We talk about that, like the way you eliminate yourself from your company, make your company more valuable, is you have to separate yourself. There has to be a process that anybody can follow. Well, this company has great processes, and they publish them on the dark web. So the thing is, if you want to know how they run an organization, it's out there to be found. The other thing they have is, they have done what we talk about in Entourage or in Apex in general. They built their machine. I mean, Ryan Stewman's not a dumbass. He knows to grow your company and scale your company, you have to build your machine. It's about marketing, and this company has done it. They've got a company, I say Dream 250. It's probably larger than that, but they're going after very specific companies, and that's their dream client. And when they were asked who their client, who their victim is, it's companies that can afford to pay the ransom. So that's you, that's me. Anybody is vulnerable. They don't care if it's 20,000, 50,000, a million, 20 million. And this ransomware on Colonial Pipeline, if we ever hear the real dollar amount, I'm guessing in the tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, because they've got it shut down at this point, and that supplies 45% of the diesel, gasoline, jet fuel for the eastern half of the country. Think about the value of that. That's going to cost our economy billions very quickly. But another thing they do is they have a code of conduct. What that means is we all talk about core values and conduct and hiring to fit the core value. DarkSide has done it. They've got it published on a dark web right now, but their core values and their I guess their code of ethics is that they're not doing this to hurt people. They're doing this to get fucking rich. They will not attack hospitals, schools, governments, or nonprofits or hospice centers. And what that means is that they're not going to attack the vulnerable. They won't attack a government organization. They don't want the FBI on their asses badly. Think about that. So they ran their organization and they make sure that everybody understands their code of ethics. And another thing they do is their pricing is not fixed. It's not by the hour. They've gone to value-based pricing. By the time they get into your company and you know it, they've already got all the information they need. And they get there by calling your company. They go to your social media. They send you emails and they get you to respond and they call your company. They find out who has the money, who has the authority to wire that money, and where's the bank at, what's your bank account number, what's the passwords, and they know everything. But they base the value of their ransom on how much they know you can pay or afford to pay, or if you got a big line of credit, they know that, and they're going to basically base and your insurance, and also base that on the value. But one thing they've done too is they have a really good PR team. They will take interviews from major journalists. Seriously, man, they will brag about what they do, because when they exploit your company, they want everybody to know they've done it so they can get that ransom money. And what they do is they live up to their values. One of their core values is that if people don't pay, then we basically destroy their company. And they're not playing games. So the next person they attack knows they're not fucking around. So what they do, there's a company in Georgia recently that got exploited by this company, and they refused to pay the ransom. All their company's data is open, available on the dark web. Their client data, their financial data, all their spreadsheets, it's all out there, unencrypted. You can just download it and view it if you want. So they're not fucking around either. So that's part of their core values. There is no empathy. If you don't pay, then we're going to give all your records to the world, to then everybody else can exploit you as well. And one thing to do is they have a great marketing plan. They have a huge mailing list, and they're constantly emailing the potential clients, which are victims, and they get responses. And then they do basically lead magnets, just like the rest of it. They put them into a funnel, and eventually out the bottom falls your company getting ransomware. So if you can learn a lot from this extortion company, and just be prepared. They're prepared to get you. Now we got to make sure that you are prepared to defend yourself from them. It's not easy to do, but it's not simple either. So pay attention to what we're talking about over the next few days as I'll start bringing some ideas out to you. I won't get overly technical, but know that you have to do all these things or you're next on their list. Because if you can afford to pay the ransom, they want you.